wonderful diverse community, and it's a really important part of the university mission and values to promote equity and diversity. Diversity adds huge value to our lives by exposing us to a wealth of opinions, ideas, and experiences. And to achieve diversity, CPUT strives for inclusivity. There are lots of ways that we can promote an inclusive environment, and you'll find out more in these FYE videos. Embracing diversity, CPUT says no to xenophobia, and understanding students with disabilities. We want all our students to feel safe and acknowledged, but it's true that we don't always feel these things. That's where student counseling comes in. There are several centers on the different campuses, and they are able to handle a wide variety of issues.
You know, gender-based violence is a violation of women's rights, and it's one of the scourges that normally you find in any university environment, where you find some various type of gender-based violence. It can be emotional, it can be the way a person speaks to you in such a way that is challenging or is undermining your sexuality. There must be consent. If someone is touching or flashing something that you don't like, that's all forms of gender-based violence, and it's not acceptable, and it's your violation of women's rights. If he insists, report that person immediately. The university will really assist you. Tell your mentor about any other thing that you feel uncomfortable with. Your mentor is your first port of call. They will tell you where to take it to. You have a right to be any kind of sexuality that you want to be. You should not allow anyone to violate or to tease you or to harass you or to even say funny things about your sexuality. Immediately report that person. And sexuality is one of the key issues that we always tell people: don't hide your sexuality. If you are interested to other students of the same sex, some are transgender, are those that have that are women but living in a man's body, and there are also intersex. There are quite a number of sexualities, and those are the kind of sexuality that the university is protecting the rights to sexuality. We encourage social cohesion in the sense that we do not want you to come from your area because you have a lot to learn from other people. So staying together as a family, even at rest, you need to come and introduce yourself to the person that's seated next to you, or a person that does not necessarily come from the place that you are coming from. We understand that as first-year student, you are coming from different backgrounds. Don't be isolated. Don't say that you don't know a person. Go and introduce yourself. Always start a conversation, because social cohesion is about staying together, enjoying the student life, and also looking at the challenges of student life as a collective, not as one person. Don't really hide yourself and say you are not used to it. Everybody's like you.
Decolonization became a topical issue following the student protests in the 2015, 16 and 17 academic years. Central to the student protest was the call for the free and decolonized higher education in South Africa. So universities are now engaging with ways in which they can change the practices so that universities become spaces where we value human dignity irrespective of the background of whoever comes to the university space. The damage in the minds is not only for those that were marginalized or those that were deemed to be non-human. It's also to those that we would say they are the beneficiaries of the system of oppression. So the challenge for universities is to ensure that we open up spaces for students, for academics to develop and think beyond the present. Decolonization for some would mean unlearning some other issues in order to relearn. That means that in our past experiences, especially those that have been privileged, they should try and relearn so that we can work together towards common good, towards new humanism.
Our university aims to be inclusive to as many students as possible, and that means making provision for students with disabilities. Our disability unit does a whole range of things, from being the voice of students and staff to supporting staff and students with disabilities.
There are few definitions around disabilities, but if you can summarize it, it's a person who's got a physical, sensory, or mentally or learning disability that is permanent and also recurring. It's coming back. You know, there are quite a number of misconceptions and myths in the society. And it's a pity because really, if we can look at a person with a disability as a person exactly the same as all of us without a disability. But now in the society, the people, they see the disability and they forget about the person behind the disability. You know, it's so important to disclose from the first day, because then we know we can support you, we can sit down with you, and you can tell us exactly what are your needs. And we can decide together how we're going to overcome these barriers.
Our university promotes tolerance, freedom of expression, and inclusivity for all our people, right in line with South Africa's constitution. Every one of us is unique, and we all have so much to offer.